Hey everyone, you're tuned into InfoQuench with Jeff.
And Amy. Join us as we talk about anything.
And everything.
All the stuff that makes life interesting.
So let's get to it. Hey everybody, and welcome to InfoQuench. I'm your host Jeff.
I'm Amy.
And this episode is part 3 of our COVID-19.
No, it's not.
It's part 4.
No, well, not really.
Part 8.
How about I just say what part it is?
3? 2. Okay, go ahead.
We've done pandemic volumes 1 through 3, but I thought we would do something a little more focused this episode. Yes, we're still going to be talking about COVID-19 because it is our life.
It's everybody's lives right now.
It's our life.
It really is. It's everybody's life right now. Yeah, it's all encompassing.
Well, this focus of this episode, I thought we could talk about things I never thought about pre-pandemic.
Oh, yes.
Before COVID-19. So I've got 12 things that I never even really thought about. Or maybe I thought about a little bit, but this definitely shed new light on it.
I mean, there's a lot of things that have come to light since this began. You know, a lot of things that you wouldn't really even expect, like animals taking over cities again, and and the air being clean and clear over Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. I pictured like animals driving cars and
yeah.
Well, I don't know what I thought.
I'm sure they're getting on the bus,
taking
and stuff
control
now.
of the whole city, and
just taking control.
Yeah, forming their own government. No, when I mean things I never really thought about, number one would be the value of having a bidet.
I know. Yeah, a bidet would be nice.
We don't have a bidet.
We don't have one.
When
no.
I look at these crazy toilet paper wars that are going on around the world, but I think about there are some countries that have a lot of bidets that they're probably thinking, you suckers. Yeah,
that's true. And you know, saying all that, we definitely understand our privilege, you know, to be able to say, I wish we had a bidet. Some people don't even have toilets, you know. No,
so, I know. And some of this stuff, I should, I guess, preface the episode by saying this is a very serious topic, and there are a lot of people going through a lot of hardship.
Oh, absolutely.
I did want to do a little bit of, because we have had such heavy episodes lately, I wanted to do a little bit of a lighter episode.
Absolutely.
And talk about some.
And here I am bringing it right down again, to...
That's quite okay. I mean, that's
it makes sense though. I mean, you know, everybody's in different predicaments with this COVID-19. You know, some people are working from home. Some people are going right into the trenches, if you will, you know, into the hospitals and stuff. Like I'll say this, one of the things that I've noticed, because I'm an essential worker, I work at a group home, and whenever I come home, Amy and I have this full detox, precautionary thing that we do, and we've been doing it every single day for what now, 2 weeks or so, or like since it.
Yes,
kind of since it started.
And I think a lot of people they're really starting to come up with their own ways of going through a little bit of a detox to help protect their families when they're coming in the door from work. And I think it's a good thing. Just to put a little bit of a timestamp on this, we're recording this on March 30th.
Yes.
And as of today, we're at 68 cases here in New Brunswick, province of New Brunswick.
In Canada.
So... yes, value of bidets was number one, because I would never, if I had the clearest, crystalliest ball that there ever were.
I'll have to look that one up.
The most magical of 8 balls.
Yeah. Magic-eel? Is that what you were going to say?
I would never have predicted that toilet paper would be the thing that we would all go after.
I have to admit, I feel this exact same way. I didn't see toilet paper being the culprit that it turned into, honestly. And people, I mean, you know, it's a joke now. It's a joke now because everybody knows that you can go and you can get it no matter what, whenever you want it. It is a
well, I don't know if that's the case
everywhere,
risk. But I mean, it's after everybody started
here,
finally
anyways,
got their stockpile of.
I'm talking about here,
hoarding and panic buying. Then And just a reminder, we're recorded of St. John, New Brunswick in Canada.
Yeah. So I mean, there's no problems here getting toilet paper. I mean, in the beginning, because everybody was hoarding it and going out and buying way more than what they needed, there was a huge shortage. But now it seems to be kind of back to normal to a degree.
Number 2, things I've never thought about before the pandemic was timing my dishwasher so it didn't coincide with a conference call.
Yes, that's true. That's
So
true. You got to do that, right?
I'm working from home, and I feel very fortunate to be able to work from home. But there are definitely challenges that, you have to work around. And
we just timed the dryer to coincide with this podcast recording.
I don't know if they picked up the
buzzer
at
the buzzer
the end
went
of the cycle.
off at the end. But, that's raw radio for you.
Raw radio. And
dryer's going off.
Charlie meowing in the background.
Charlie.
Yeah, so all those little household noises that interfere with the conference calls, that's something that I never thought I would be.
Well, people too, right? When you're on a call and stuff, it's got to be relatively quiet where you were. Oh, by the way, we should tell our listeners that you have a whole new spot where you do your.
I might even have that in the lineup of my numbered list.
I screwed it up again. That's okay.
No,
Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
The cat is not yet out of the bag. Just have a little drink of my water. Number 3 of what I've realized, and I think we've had a lot of discussion on this, it's just I've come to the realization of how wasteful we were on certain things.
Right.
And I think it's because, and I never really thought of us as being wasteful. We always tried to minimize food waste and recycle.
We do.
But I think now that going out for groceries has become an expedition where you're
putting yourself at risk, possibly.
Right, and you're wanting to minimize all those trips out. You really become aware of what you have in your house, and you try to make, things last a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed, but there's actually a bag in the freezer of just heels of bread.
No, I have not noticed that.
So
And why is that? Is that for emergency rations?
I'm not normally a heel eater.
No.
I'm not, and Hux doesn't
I give them to our son.
Well, he's not a big heel fan either.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to throw them out because I thought, what if we go into full self-isolation at some point? We got to fight over those heels. And we're not able to leave the house.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure we had extra bread.
I did not.
I cannot get myself to throw out the heels. So there's a one bag, and it's just a loaf of heels.
So you're hoarding heels.
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
I'm a heel hoarder.
Okay. Well, we can always just fight over them during the Armageddon or whatever. That is so funny. I had no idea you did that.
No?
I think you know everything about your wife, and she's hoarding heels.
I know. Well, it's a new thing.
All right. So how many heels have you accumulated
first couple
now?
Of weeks.
How many heels? Like 4?
No, I think it's like half a loaf worth.
Half a loaf worth of heels?
Our son eats a lot of bread.
All
and
right.
now that he's not in school, there's a lot of peanut butter.
Yeah.
I think peanut butter is probably flowing in a lot of households now, where normally it was something that you kind of held for the weekend because of peanut allergies in the schools and things like that. You didn't want to give your kids peanut butter in the morning, but I bet you there is a lot of peanut butter to be had now.
Probably, yeah. I would have to agree with you there for sure. One of the things that I don't know if I mentioned this last podcast, but when we were talking about COVID-19, but I've never been so happy to be avoided on the streets. It's just a great thing.
Well, yes, I actually have something about that later on.
And I didn't look at your list. That's just how clairvoyant I am, I guess. How on top of this podcast thing that
you absolutely are.
Yeah.
But no, those ad hoc comments are going to come in handy later on.
All right.
So save them up.
That's fantastic.
Save them up.
That's great.
Number 4.
Yeah.
I never realized, well, I guess I maybe partially realized, but how dirty everything is.
Well, yeah, once you start having a lot of time in your home, you get the eagle eye for the dust.
Well, no, I don't mean the dust in the house, but I suppose we're probably all doing a little extra house cleaning right now. But I mean, just
or not
going through life, thinking about the places where germs collect, because as we're sort of going out and doing errands for essential items, you're really aware of where you may, have a possibility of picking up the virus.
Yeah.
So things like
light switches.
Well,
doorknobs.
I'm thinking more even outside the house, the handles of when you're pumping gas.
Yeah.
And the pin pads.
Yeah.
I actually saw a tip on Facebook where somebody said that they carry some Q-tips in their pocket and they use the Q-tips to hit the pin pads
that's pretty
on
smart.
debit machines. So, yeah. I mean, if you don't have gloves and you don't, or if you, I know a lot of
Then they eat the Q-tips.
Or protective equipment is in short supply. So, what?
Then they eat the Q-tips, right? They use it for the pin pad, and then they eat the Q-tips. Makes sense.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you eat Q-tips?
Yeah, I know. Anyway.
What world would you not eat Q-tips? I don't even know.
I don't know why.
That's not a world I want to exist in.
I don't know why I wanted to say that, but I just thought it would be funny.
Because you knew it wasn't on my numbered list, and you could slide it in there.
That's definitely not on your numbered list. Yes, it's comedy hour on InfoQuench. Half hour.
Number 5.
Yeah.
I realized that, you know what? As much as I always aspired, or like, I don't know. No, I'm not always aspired to, but I had fleeting moments of thinking that working from home would be glorious.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people have said, oh, that would be awesome. You know, my commute's just downstairs and I can wear my pajamas and get started with the day and just make a coffee and, you know, be a few steps from my computer and from my work. And it's not that glorious. Working from home is not glorious.
Do you feel that you or maybe some of your colleagues may have thought in their head at one point during this COVID-19 thing that, wow, this could have been an email, not a meeting?
Oh, I saw that meme.
The Star Trek one, yeah.
Did you? Well, no, was it Star Trek?
There was one that I saw.
I didn't mean to call you out on using a meme.
That's all right. No, I mean, memes are a part of our lives now.
That was mean.
This is yeah. I'm not even gonna touch that one. That was a good one. Meanie.
No, but I think I've been really, really fortunate to always have awesome people to work with. I've worked with some really amazing coworkers over the years. But I think working from home during this whole pandemic has taken my appreciation for the social aspects of work in the office environment to another level. And I definitely appreciate that. Getting out of the house and having a different group of people that you're, sharing time with and stories with and collaborating with, and also the value of doing work, face to face and tone and all those little, we could do an entire episode on all of the different aspects of work life and how that's affected by a pandemic. But I will say that, yes, working from home, not nearly as glorious as I thought it would be.
It's funny because, like our family, is like many others, are spending a lot of time together. And I love it. Like, I love spending time with you and Hux. You guys are the only people that really I can hang out with, except for the people that I do at work. But anyways, you really get to appreciate your time when you get to go out for a walk. Like I really relish in the time that I have alone walking. Like, I just enjoy it, and then I come back home, and don't you? Don't you enjoy that? Yeah,
absolutely.
It's
I've always loved walking.
I've never really enjoyed walking as much as this, though, because it does give me that time alone and just kind of walking,
like it does
get away from you freaks.
I know. Just say it. Just say what you want to say.
No, but it's. I just listened. I time my walk so I can pretty much listen to a whole album on Spotify or whatever, and it works perfectly. I get home and I've listened. I've taken in some art. I've gotten some exercise. I got away from you freaks, and it's just it's perfect.
You always seem a little happier, more relaxed when you come back home.
It gets the blood.
I don't know how you could be more relaxed than you already are, but you do seem more relaxed.
I get stressed out. This whole COVID-19 thing's got me stressed out. You know that.
I know. Well, it's
like I don't like having to leave you guys and then go to work and then possibly have something happen there and then bring it back. Like, that doesn't make me feel good at all. A lot of like essential workers are going through that dilemma, I feel, Oh yeah, it's yeah, definitely. It's always a concern. I mean, there's no reason for me to think that, it would happen in the near future or whatever, but it's always a possibility. And that's the thing that gets me stressed the most.
Number six. I've never really considered how many people we actually interact with, perfect strangers that we interact with. Like, that's gone to nothing. Well, but even no one even asks you for change anymore. But the people you have to interact with, they're all a potential source of contracting the virus. Mm-hmm. But I never realized how close a contact you have with all of these cashiers, and you've got
big time. A lot of exchange.
Of course, you have your medical personnel and pharmacists and all of that. And even the thought of, I don't think before this anybody ever considered how valuable, grocery stores are, and that, and saw cashiers as essential workers, but they absolutely
gas station attendants and there's so many essential workers. In a way, these essential workers are the heroes that the billionaires could never be, Ooh, deep, huh? But it's true.
You're going to have to make a t-shirt for that one.
Yeah, that's a lot of words.
It was so deep, I don't even know I got it.
Okay, well, you'll have to listen back to the podcast. This is episode what? 60-something? What is it? 68?
I don't know.
Okay. I thought you looked it up just before we started.
No, I looked up how many cases of... Oh. It was 68.
Okay. All right.
You just keep talking there for a minute, and I'll tell you exactly what episode this is.
Well, I mean, what am I supposed to talk about?
Well, you never seem to have any shortage when I'm in the middle of my numbered list.
I don't do requests.
Oh, come on now.
No, it's true. It's, it's that COVID-19. It's horrible.
Tell us more about your walks and your albums and your...
love going for walks.
This is exciting. This is actually episode number 60.
Number 60. Wow.
Yes, this is actually episode number 60.
Well, let's celebrate, shall we?
So it wasn't that close off. Like I said 68 cases, and I can see why you thought it meant episode numbers. But episode number 8.
I figured we were getting up there, so, But,
well, we are getting up there.
Yeah.
So, number 7.
Number 7.
I never realized how resilient
Number 7.
Kids are.
Yeah. Our kid is...
And I don't know, I can't speak about teenagers. I suspect teenagers being away from boyfriends and girlfriends and all that are having a much harder time. And maybe the young ones that aren't able to make any kind of use of social media. But our son's 7, and he is so far so resilient. I mean, he shows some signs of stress, but compared to what...
Yeah, no, he's never nagging us to go
We're basket
play
cases as adults.
Yeah, we take this, well, obviously, because we understand it a little bit more, and I don't think kids should really understand everything about COVID-19 anyways. It's too scary. And one of the things that what we have done as a family is we've completely limited our media watching, like TV watching, when he's up and around. Like we only watch it pretty much when he's in bed, and we only watch a little bit just to get caught up. But I think that's super important. So if you have a young one, be careful what you're saying around them. Be careful what you're watching, because they absorb everything.
Right. I think it's important for them to be informed, but you're right, not too much. So, I mean, they don't need to be...
Yeah.
They don't need to know all the details and be obsessed with numbers the way we can be as adults. And even we have daily updates from our Prime Minister here in Canada and from our Premier of our province and our Public Health Officer. And I usually pop my headphones in and listen to those updates that way, just to avoid bombarding our son with too much information.
Absolutely. They don't need to know everything, They really don't.
Number 8. I've always appreciated the value of technology, but I have a new respect and appreciation for technology now.
Particularly social media?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've always...
FaceTime? That's good. Actually, going back to what we were just talking about, kids, man, if you can do a play date through video conferencing or something like that, FaceTime, do it. Kids love it.
Yeah, with the filters and everything, they have
the filters are just a blast. And there's little games that they can play now. I had no idea.
I know.
I didn't know what the heck that was.
There's the one with the unicorn, and you got to catch the rings on your horn.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck that is, but
narwhal or something.
Yeah. That's different than a unicorn, honey.
Oh, really?
The narwhal is a whale. And then
I guess I wasn't paying close attention.
It's okay. They both have horns, so one lives in the sea, and the other one doesn't even exist. So.
Whales don't have horns?
Narwhals do. They have a horn.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a real kind of whale?
Yeah.
Not just in a storybook?
Yeah.
Isn't that the name of
a real one? It's a real whale. Well, we're going to have to do some research on it, I guess, but I'm quite certain. Now you've gotten me.
I thought it was just a character in a book.
No, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing a documentary about it, actually.
Oh, a documentary.
Yeah, a documentary.
Ooh. Oh, are we going to get into Tiger King talk?
Oh, Tiger King. Did I ever enjoy that? Oh, my goodness. What a ride. What a ride. Seriously. If you haven't seen it, and I know you have because everybody has. So, anyway.
Even Carol Baskins watched it.
If you miss it, you better be dead or in jail. And if you're in jail, break out. Little quote from The Simpsons for you.
But not you, Tiger King. Don't you break out. You stay in jail.
Actually, he's probably my favorite character in the whole thing.
Yeah?
Everybody else was crazy, but maybe crazier than him.
Yeah, they are a cast of characters. Somebody couldn't have written
You hadn't even seen it all. Crew. Like you didn't.
I know. I missed.
You missed like 3 or 4.
I watched
episodes.
like every odd episode. Like,
but man,
1, 3, 5.
I don't know what it was, but I just loved it. It was like, I read an article someplace where it said, "Yeah, Tiger King is the escape that you need right now," and it's so true. Talk about getting immersed in like garbage. It's just crazy. Anyway.
Well, just back to the technology thing, because we often had people would comment on technology and social media not being real, taking something away, that it wasn't the same as that face-to-face contact, and now it's become for many people their sole means of contact and their lifeline to network and connect with friends and family. And yeah, it's incredibly valuable. It
is. And now that we're on the topic of social media, I don't know if we've ever told our loyal listeners about our pandemic parenting thing.
Yeah,
did we ever mention that? No, I don't even know if we did.
No, I don't. Actually we did. We did a couple of episodes ago, I think.
Okay, yeah. Well,
but there's a Facebook page called Pandemic Parenting. There's actually probably a few of them out there now. I think they're probably hard to find. But we started one here local. Yeah. It has a lot of local people here from St. John. But even if you don't find that group, be sure to search out some other groups online, because it's a great way to get some support, maybe commiserate, but also get great resources.
Everything from free movies that the kids can watch legally, of course. Oh yeah, we did remember that, because I remember saying that legally.
Are you getting a little deja vu on that one?
Anyway, so just check it out. There's all kinds of games and like crafts and whatever, man. Like free plays that you can watch and just all kinds of fun stuff.
I'm kind of listening to us talk, and I'm wondering if we sound shack-wacky.
What does that mean?
What does shack-wacky mean?
Yeah, I never even heard that word before, I don't think. Shack-wacky. Oh, you just mean like that. It's
where the narwhals live.
Is it cabin fever?
Yes.
Verbiage?
Exactly.
Shack-wacky, aka cabin fever.
That's exactly it.
Verbiage. I don't think so. I don't know, maybe, but who cares?
I know.
It's our podcast, man. We can do what we want, man.
Just being good, just making commentary.
Okay, shack-wacky. That's what we'll call this episode.
Number 9.
How
much easier? This is something I hadn't realized. How much easier it is to wash our hands without our rings on.
Yeah, we mentioned that one in a previous podcast.
We did, but
we took them off.
It's worth reminding people about. Rings are kind
of
a spot for things and dirt and such to catch.
I almost lost mine.
That's right. Plus, you're washing your hands so often you can lose one down the drain. So
remember when I lost it?
Just agreed to take off our rings
somewhere, and it was.
Are we having 2 separate conversations here?
Yeah. Do you remember when I lost my ring though a while back? And I was like, "Where is it?"
I remember when you talked about it last episode too.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh well, never mind. Let's just skip that part.
Well, you talked about almost losing it.
But I didn't. There was a story, wasn't it? Stuck in the.
Okay, go with that story.
Well, then. I don't remember the story. Wasn't it something to do with the curtain? Wasn't it stuck in the curtain or something?
I don't know, honey. That's a great story.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead. Thanks for shooting down my whole thing.
Story I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you are getting shack-wacky. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, take off your rings. It's easier to wash your hands. Number 10. I never appreciated how ergonomically correct my desk was at work.
Yeah.
Any desk that you can sit at for 8-9 hours at a time and not feel completely sore and hunched over and is ergonomically correct. It's much more ergonomically correct than my kitchen island. And
those were loud ice cubes.
Those were the loudest ice cubes.
Yeah,
that's why I drink wine, no ice cubes. But only half a glass of wine.
I swear to God, I swear as I swear to anything, I'm only drinking water.
Well, yes, you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just having a little sip.
Make it sound like I have a drinking problem there, actually. I swear I'm only drinking water. Water, H2O. That's right.
Ice water. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So we've
ergonomically correct.
After 2 weeks, I've realized that, this working from home thing's probably a long haul. So
it's
time to adjust the setup, and we set up a little office space complete with lots of plants and natural light.
It looks great. It didn't take us that long either.
I needed a place that I was...
The funny thing is, though, is that we moved out the little guy's toys, because that's where his toys were, and his toys are everywhere. So Amy's got a really nice, cute and concise office, but Huxley's toys are everywhere.
I know.
Like, they're everywhere.
We need to get rid of some of those toys. Well, not right now, though. He needs them to play with. So, story for another day. Number 11. I didn't realize before this pandemic just how bloody innovative we can be as human beings.
Yes.
And I mean, we are coming up with solutions to work around this whole, social distancing. People are coming up with, stores are coming up with all these delivery systems, ways to, for infection control measures. People are clever, and it's really coming out. I mean, it's, what do they say? Necessity is the mother of invention.
I saw
is that
on,
the saying?
I think so. I think that's what it is.
So yeah, and we are, it's a necessity, and we are being innovative.
I saw a video of a guy in New York who had like a wire frame around him that's 6 feet, or like in a circular, is to keep people away from
like
him.
A snow globe
and
guy?
he's like social distancing. He had a T-shirt on that said "social distance away from me" or something like that. And he had like this big hoop 6 feet around him.
Wait, can you imagine being in a place like New York?
Oh man, no, I can't even imagine. They're in dire straits right now.
Well, that's actually a good lead-in. That brings me to number 12.
Number 12.
And so this is the last of the things I never thought about before this pandemic.
Okay.
And it was all the many simple things in life that I took for granted.
Oh, yes?
Like going for walks.
Oh, yes, going for walks.
Going for walks and not... Well, I guess, women tend to always be aware of who's around them anyway, in terms of the surroundings. You're always sort of watching out for other people and, making sure that you're in a safe environment. So there's always that aspect, but now it's with social distancing, it's next level. So we do like to go out, Jeff and I will go out and have go out on a solo walk and, just walk around our beautiful uptown here in St. John.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous city. And
there's not a whole lot of people out. A lot of people are staying home as well they should. But we go out just to get a little bit of fresh air and some exercise and do a quick walk and then come straight home. But we're careful to avoid people, and it takes a lot. Crossing the road. I often am walking out in the street a bit to avoid being on the sidewalk if there are a lot of people on the sidewalk. And I really took that for granted, just
well, you take for granted too, just going out the door and seeing people that as you walk, especially when you walk downtown, used to see a lot of people out and about. But right now, because of COVID-19, people are listening and staying home, and there's not that many people around at all when we
and
go
you don't
for a
and
walk.
if you see someone you're like you have to wave from
you don't
8 or 10 feet away, and but I mean, everybody seems to understand. There doesn't seem nobody seems to think that you're being rude for avoiding them on the sidewalk. People understand
for the most part.
You're doing it for the health of the community and for the greater good, and for the most part, for sure.
Some people aren't.
And
listening.
I definitely took for granted our just being able to go to our beautiful parks and trails and things, and now every place has become. Those places a lot of them have become quite crowded because people are trying to there's not many things they're able to do, and they're trying to get outside and get into nature, and you get a lot of people going to one place, which isn't a good idea either. So it's hard. There's a lot of simple things in life, just socializing in person with our friends, all of those things that if you had asked us only a month ago,
Only a month ago, I know. It hasn't been that long at all.
We never would have been able to dream that we would be in this place. But
what
here we are.
What is the projection for this to be over? Is there one?
I don't know, but I thought, you know what I thought would be interesting is we could do a future episode, and you and I are going to make predictions. Okay. We each have our own set of predictions on what we think will be different about life after the pandemic.
Interesting.
And we can include we'll do some predictions on when we think this is going to end, or what we think the trajectory will be.
No one's going to shake hands anymore, that kind of thing?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Hope you enjoyed. Stay safe. Stay away from people. Stay home when you can. And thank you to all our essential workers who aren't able to stay home and are going out to keep us all safe.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Thanks for listening.
And remember, you can catch up on past episodes at infoquench.com.
Or just about anywhere else you get your podcasts.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
And help spread the word about InfoQuench.
Till next time.